Hello and welcome to Aging Matters. This is a show that is provided by and sponsored by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging. My name is Ann Barlet and I'm the Public Advocacy and Outreach Manager for the agency. Our show today is going to be talking about some veterans benefits and some special programs that they have as being offered to the veterans. My guest today that's with me is Edwin Jankowski. He is the Benefit Educator and Outreach Coordinator for the Berks County Etchberger Veterans Center. Thank you, Edwin, for being here today.
Well, thanks for having me, Ann.
We have a lot to talk about because
Yes,
I think that there's a lot that is available that whether people know about it or don't know about it or know a portion, you know, maybe as a piece or an aspect of something that the office is able to provide and those services and benefits that are available. I know that as I was, prepping for today, I saw that the mission of the center was just that, to administer the various benefit programs and to provide claims assistance as needed. So
Yeah, well,
that's perfect. It's a concise, tight mission for what you do.
Right. Well, as you know, we are a county agency also, and we help the county constituents get federal benefits. While the county does have benefits, the state has some benefits. The real benefits lie with the health care and compensation through the federal government.
Oh, okay.
And we help our county constituents get those benefits.
Great. So let's start with that. We can start either, I'll let you choose. I think health care, and yet there's also the service-connected compensation. So I think those are two probably bigger areas, wouldn't you say?
Those are the two biggest areas that we actually help with. The health care, we help line up the forms so you can actually get into the healthcare system that's provided by the VA hospitals, the VA clinics.
Okay.
Berks County is in, I don't want to call it an abnormality, but we are serviced by 3 different hospitals.
Oh.
Lower Berks County is serviced by Coatesville. Upper Berks County, depending your zip code, is serviced by Scranton-Wilkes-Barre because of the clinic in Allentown. And the brunt of Berks County is serviced by Lebanon. And we are fortunate enough to have a clinic right out in Wyomissing that is part of the Lebanon Hospital.
Okay, I was going to ask for clarification because before that came about, I knew everybody was kind of, a good majority that I knew were going up to Lebanon VA, or a few that I knew were going down to Coatesville. So could you just tell us, I guess, what does a veteran, or is it only a veteran? Is it also a spouse or a significant other that might qualify for health care? And then a little bit about what they do, how they contact you. Do they go to you? Do they go to them first to get, as you said, that the application or the process started?
Right. The health care is for the veteran.
Okay.
The veteran and any ailments that came out of military service. We have forms that we can help you fill out, or you can go online at www.va.gov, look under healthcare, and you can actually apply yourself.
Okay.
They want a couple things. They want your service, DD-214. The most important paper in all this process is the DD-214 to prove that you actually served.
Okay.
Well, just backtrack a little bit. If you don't have your DD-214, we can help you get a DD-214, but that's through archives more than likely. We'll have to go back to National Archives. Now, fast forward back to healthcare. Your DD-214, your income statements, tax forms, latest tax form, dependents, any current insurance providers that you're currently on.
Okay.
Because if you haven't been in the military just coming out, you served in the civilian career field, you were probably more likely on some type of other Medicare, Medicaid, or whatnot. So they look at that and they look at your income, because you can actually, depending on your service, you can actually use VA healthcare as more of a secondary healthcare system.
That's what I was
so there is a
ask.
copay for those that are lower, not the medical issues.
So you can have dual.
You can have dual
things.
Yes.
You can be covered by the one, but also have something else
Yes.
too. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And the VA is now getting into also wellness. So there's a lot of programs out there through the healthcare system that you can plug into to take care of you as you're getting older.
Good. So they can, once they've started that process, then they're just contacted and assigned a physician, or they can choose
Right.
to go locally here to the one in Wyomissing area, or do they have a choice, or is
Right.
it based on what either specialty or what they might need directs them in a sense where they have to go?
The way it kind of works is once you get accepted into the system, your first visit is actually at the big hospital.
Okay.
Like I said, we had 3 healthcare centers working in conjunction with Berks County. That's based off zip codes and the way the federal government drew lines. So, yeah, you had to go to the first one. And then after that, you can come back to the clinics.
Okay. Okay.
But you can also change your healthcare if you're located in Coatesville, but closer to Coatesville, but you want to go to Lebanon, you can just call them up
Okay.
3, 4, 5 days later. You'll be moved in the system.
Okay.
There's nothing immediate, but you can be moved in the system. So
And just real quick before we move on from there is, so it is a place that has your regular PCP. It would become your regular PCP if you chose to make that your
Right.
primary, let's
Right.
say. What about medications? Do they have a pharmacy? Can you get medications through that, and or any specialists?
they are full service providers. So they can do I say almost everything. Sure,
Wow.
there will be 1 or 2 things that are serviced out through the federal government.
Okay.
But they are full service providers.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That's great. So let's move along then to the service-connected compensation or a disability compensation. Is there a difference in those, or is that an interchangeable
They're
word?
used interchangeably.
Okay.
I like to try to stay away from the disability.
Okay.
While you might be getting compensation, you still don't get your disability placard for some of your compensations.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you're 100%, you might not be eligible for your placard for close-in parking. So I just stay away from that,
Got
not
it.
to create the confusion. Compensation is based off your service, what you did in your ailments coming out of service to the country. So you could have all sorts of different issues. Agency on Aging, let's talk the older veterans. We're talking a lot of Vietnam era, 70 and above. Vietnam era served in Vietnam, so they might have carcinomas. So they're compensated for having cancer. So that's the way it kind of works. And then you get compensation, a monthly compensation, which you receive for the rest of your life. Your health care is tied back to the compensation, what they found that you're being compensated for.
And again, how does one go about applying for that? They say, hey,
For that,
this is what's going on.
right.
You know, do I contact again
for
the
that,
office?
you come into the office,
Okay.
you contact the office, make an appointment, or come into a Tuesday briefing. Every Tuesday we do a 1:30 briefing. I can give you the generalities. It's like an umbrella brief
Okay.
for what you may be eligible for.
Oh, all right.
From that, we have VSOs that will work with you if you bring your DD-214. We'll help you get into the system with the intent to file a claim, and then you can come back and put more meat on the bones for your claim. Then we file the paperwork with the big VA.
Okay.
They adjudicate it. They send you a couple medical appointments,
Oh,
see if you
okay.
actually have an issue.
Okay.
And they come back with your compensation,
So,
if you're eligible.
knowing that with that application process and getting it started, would you need documents to attach to that, or would it be wise? For example, some kind of physician certification or diagnosis and medication sheet, or
Oh, for sure.
limited abilities.
For sure. There's going to be a medical check.
Okay.
There's a CNP exam where they check and verify what you're actually trying to claim. You'll be sent to a location. There's 3 different contractors that service with the VA that they're actually going to check.
Okay.
So they're not associated with the VA. They're associated with the VA as their contractors, but they're trying to make sure that your claim is actually justifiable.
Sure.
And so from that, you file your claim. The average claim is now taking about 160 days to file, to actually be from start to finish.
Okay.
So it does take a while to get through the VA. So recommendation is you come in sooner than
Right.
later. But with that being said, you come and attend a Tuesday brief. We can do the intent to file. You have up to a year to do the actual filing. But once you get into your exams and you get your adjudication, that goes back to the date that you did your intent to file.
Okay.
So the payments, you get retro pay, as we say.
Good, yep.
So you can start getting paid.
And so it's smart. Once
Smart,
you're out,
yes.
connect with the VA center here
Yes.
to see what's going on. Go to that Tuesday meeting, briefing,
Right.
and at least listen and go, oh, that looks, oh, that, I seem to, that looks the way kind of what I want to go with my life and not to miss out. And at least if nothing else, you're more informed and then can make that decision. Do I want to pursue that? Do I want to pursue
and
something
I
else?
highly recommend you to come in only because you find out yes or no. It's better to find out a no when you're a little bit younger, because this is because it's there's a financial issue to this. It helps you plan for the backside. In your later years. It gives you options as opposed to not having the options, or you find out too late.
And look at all the benefits that you missed out on.
And all the benefits you missed out on.
You know, and the compensation.
Right, and unfortunately the claim dies with the veteran. So when you're talking couples, if the veteran did not file a claim, the spouse will not be taken care of because the claim will die with the veteran.
Okay. So those two particular things with the health care and the service-connected compensation
Yes.
are specifically for the veteran.
Yes.
Okay. Anything you want to talk about further before we move kind of into sort of, that's kind of like the, I think, health care-ish. I'm looking a little bit more of the finance then, financial pieces. So can we?
Okay. I just want to put out that our phone number is 610-378-5601, and you can call up and you can get more information regarding the Tuesday brief. And you can also, if you're already part of the system in the VA and you haven't been in for 10, 15 years, we are tied to legislation. So legislation is always changing. So come in and at least do a check. Get us the power of attorney so we can look into your file, because that'll take a couple days, and come back and just do a review of your packet.
I was just going to, if nothing else, update any information that's changed, right?
Yes.
I mean, you can't reach them if they have an old phone number, different address, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
Why don't you also right now give us the location of the center?
Okay, we're at 726 Cherry Street. Right in the BARDA bus station. We are the second storefront on Cherry Street. Direct entrance
from Cherry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. And a very level space. If there's any difficulties, you can get.
We have parking right out front for those that are having issues with mobility, and if you go about 500 feet down the road, we have our own little parking garage that we will comp your parking also, so everything's kind of covered just from the VA.
Good. Okay. So let's move a little bit different in terms of financial. And one of the things that I always think of, because I've had experience with helping other people to file for aid and attendance pension.
Yes.
And I know that how I relate it, but correct me if it's either wrong or expanded more than my little knowledge. I know that folks that had needed either some help in their own home through an agency, or those that may have moved to a personal care type facility, because that's in a sense says they need that assistance, they need some kind of care assistance, that they could potentially apply for aid and attendance pension, and I'll ask for who can, and then it ultimately became a financial income to that individual, which hopefully will help to offset those costs of home care or personal care home, right?
Correct. You are correct.
Okay.
The aid and attendance, you have aid and attendance and you have pension. So both of them have to be filed at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But also, this is a longer process. This can take from 8 months to a year.
Oh, wow.
So we recommend you get in early to start the process earlier, only because it takes so long.
Okay.
So you can see that, I guess you can see the writing in the wall. So if you're starting to head down that road, just come in and start. Make sure your packet's together.
Or at least call and investigate. Do you think I might be eligible if I have this and that and, you know?
Right, and we also have to have doctors' recommendations coming off this because there's more involved with the in-home healthcare or the other healthcare providers coming out to you. So there's more involved than
Okay,
just the
in that
VA making
piece.
adjudication. You have to get the doctors involved.
Okay, so this is a program that is available to the veteran
Yes.
and the spouse?
Yes.
But it's not at the same time, so it's the veteran or the surviving spouse, is that correct? Or can a veteran and a spouse get it at the same time?
I believe they can get it at the same time.
Okay.
I've never heard of, well, usually we don't have that, in all fairness. I've never seen that
Okay,
situation where we've
Okay.
had both of them at the same time.
all right,
But, because usually one's younger, they're a little bit offset.
okay.
But I believe they can both get.
Okay, so they can learn a little bit more about what, and so the financial compensation or financial income can vary, right? There's not like a set, you get X amount of dollars? or?
You don't get X. Some of it's based off what you have and what, what you have.
Right.
Again, we're a county agency working for the federal government, so there's caps to everything. Earning caps that you can actually make money. So they're just like with the health care, they want to know what your income is to see if you actually qualify. If you're not.
Okay. So there's income and then obviously healthcare level.
Yes.
Okay, and then the documents that go with that.
Well, correct.
So if it's a physician information paperwork.
Physician actually recommending that you need to
Okay.
have this care
Okay.
due to your disability or
But
ailments.
this again can be discussed through the Veterans
all
Center?
this can be discussed at Berks County.
Okay.
And we work in conjunction with the VA. The way we like to have it actually work out, you're actually plugged into the VA, the federal
Okay.
healthcare program.
Okay,
So you're not coming to us, I want aid in attendance. You're already
Okay.
plugged into the system, so the VA doctors are already watching you.
oh, okay, all right,
So then they know the problem. So it's just a continuation of the
okay.
VA healthcare,
Good.
as opposed to the stand-up alone. You're
Yes.
coming to us new,
Yep.
and that creates the issues.
So even more need to start early,
Yes.
get connected
Yes.
with all of the potential benefits,
Right.
whether it's now or in the future.
Correct.
How about, we talked a little bit about, or you and I talked prior, but I'm understanding there's some VA home loans.
Well, it's really not a home loan.
Okay.
It's called a home loan, but it's really a guarantee against the mortgage that if you default,
Okay,
the VA will stand behind it. So it allows you to decrease your mortgage insurance. So you don't have to pay so much in mortgage insurance on your monthly. So it allows you to actually decrease your overall payment. You can use it for your lifetime.
oh,
We don't really get that involved with it.
okay,
Through www.va.gov
Okay.
or the 1-800 number, 1-800-827-1000, you can call up and get a certificate of eligibility. 20, 30 minutes on the phone, depending how long the phone queue is, the VA phone queue. But then it's between you and your mortgage lender, because different mortgage lenders have different issues. But it's really, once you are in the system, it's pretty much not a given, but it's pretty easy to come by.
That's nice.
Yeah, but it helps decrease your overall payment, but it's not a home loan per se.
Got it, okay. And then there was something else, is there other temporary, I wrote this down, temporary assistance? I'm not exactly sure what that's all about.
Berks County has the Veterans Temporary Assistance. Because the VA is a slow-moving agency, 160 days to get a normal claim through, 8 to 9 months to a year to get your aid and attendance through. If you are in need of mortgage issues, housing issues, food instability, we work with a bunch of county agencies, and we have our own little BCVTA, Berks County Veterans Temporary Assistance Fund.
Okay.
It's a mouthful. Where we can give you a grant up to about $500
All right.
to help with your mortgage, or stuff that's going to impact you immediately. Okay. We also work with agencies. We work with your agency, the older veterans, we send them over to the Agency on Aging. That's something they have to explore.
To access some of
access.
our services and or there are resources.
Yes,
that are
Catholic
available.
Charities, because there's a lot of resources within Berks County
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
no one should really be suffering in silence, so to speak.
Okay, oh, that's good to know. And they can just call the office again for
They
that.
can call the office.
Okay.
That there is an application process, and for certain issues, there's also the Pennsylvania Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. They offer another stipend grant that could be about $1,600. So depending on the severity.
Okay.
So we try to keep it in county first and then go outside
Sure.
the county. But that's a one-time per year grant.
Okay.
So we hopefully can
Well,
adjust the issue.
and you're doing that temporary quick
Yeah,
assistance,
yeah.
but hopefully there are other, as you said, resources and other agencies that we can hook up folks that can help
Right.
in planning and in the long run as far as resolving some of those other issues or
Right.
getting other things taken care of. In moving along now for some other general, I'll call them,
Okay.
other benefits, other programs or services, depending on what you call it. In terms of that, I think sometimes I think my next picture in my head is the burials, is that kind of thing is what I think I then tend to hear more about, connected with VA, with the veterans. So can you talk about any kind of burial
So Berks
program services, and then also what goes with that, I guess.
Berks County has two services that are available, two stipends that come out. One's for the headstone and one's for the actual burial. So you're going to, through both of them, you receive about a total of $125 from Berks County as a veteran.
Okay.
The federal government, though, if you want to get buried in a federal facility, 49 Town Gap, so to speak. There's a couple other facilities you can go to, but you can we can give you a 1-800 number, and they can, I guess, for lack of a better term, preload you, get you qualified. They won't say where you're
Pre-planning.
pre-planning. They won't tell you where you're at, but they will grant you access to when you do pass, that you have it already lined up.
Okay.
And spouses can also go.
Oh, okay.
So at the time, one example is we had a veteran that wanted to be buried and the spouse wanted to be cremated. So they will marry you up after
Okay.
after both pass. It's just a matter of time. So they will do that. So usually it's
All right.
separated. The cremation's on one side and the burial's on the other side, but they will eventually marry you up.
Okay, all righty. And then I think the other thing is, I should have probably hit the survivor benefits first. Are there certain things, before we die, we mentioned kind of aid in attendance, but are there other benefits that a
Yes.
surviving spouse should know about? And is it just a spouse? It must be a legal married spouse versus a significant other that's been
we are-
residing together
right.
for 20 years or
We
whatever.
are spouse.
Okay,
It is more spouse or dependent children.
okay,
But they have to be identified. If you're talking older, the children age out at about 18.
Okay.
Unless there's another issue behind the scenes, disability or whatnot. But with that being said, we have spouse pensions for something that is related to the death of the veteran.
Okay.
And then we also have dependency indemnity claims. So if the veteran died of something that was related to service to the country, and the VA's been treating it, they have a claim there.
Okay,
So they can get compensation. Or if pension is related to the financial welfare of how the spouse is doing. That's that one's tied to the actual income.
okay,
The dependency indemnity is tied directly to what killed, what the death certificate reads.
I see.
So
Okay.
if he had coronary issues coming out of the military and he died of a heart attack, potential to get dependency indemnity. But again, if the veteran does not come into the office and does not get into the VA, all claims die with the veteran.
Yep.
And just recently, we've had a couple where we've been trying to get these claims in, and the veterans have passed. So the spouses are, nothing we can do for them.
Yep,
It's just too
exactly.
late.
Yep.
This is the responsibility of the veteran, and we're pushing this.
Yeah.
It's the responsibility of the veteran to get in and do something to help support their families.
Yep. Alrighty, in a couple minutes that we have, can we talk about, I know that there are some VA veterans ID cards, and just, what is that? Is it just local here?
Okay, veterans ID cards, there's 5 ID cards that are out
Okay.
there. The Pennsylvania driver's license, you can put the flag on the Pennsylvania driver's license.
Okay.
Pennsylvania has a query system, so they'll test, you might come up with a query that you want to put your flag on because you're a veteran, and every year they test 10% to see if they're actually veterans, so you better be a veteran if you're going to
Okay.
put your flag on.
Yep. Okay.
But with that being said, Berks County also has through the Recorder of Deeds, you get your DD-214, take your DD-214 to the Recorder of Deeds, and they will digitally save it.
Okay.
We like this idea because they will give you an ID card that's tied to your file.
Okay.
We, being a county agency, can plug into their system, and when you come into our office, we can pull your DD-214 for you.
Nice.
And we can give you certified copies. So whatever you may need it for, who knows?
Yes, well,
But-
all of the
but-
things we
but
just talked about.
the best thing is to have it, and it's there.
Yeah.
And the ID card can stay.
Okay.
Yeah. You have your retiree card if you're a retiree. So that gets you
Okay.
all the benefits you're available. There's the True Veteran ID card that's available on the va.gov website. We can show you where it's at, but because you have to provide your own picture, we don't have you come into the office.
And take a
That's
photo.
your own. Once you get into the VA healthcare system, they have their own ID card
Ah,
that
sure.
helps facilitate your in processing when you go for an appointment.
Okay.
It's tied to your file,
right.
so it's just, but the veteran ID card, the VA healthcare card, they're all nice to haves. The other ones are probably needs to haves.
Okay, all righty. Well, we really don't have much time. I would like you to make sure that we share once again how to reach you and where the office is located so that people can
Okay.
either come to those sessions, give you a call, make appointments to learn more or see if they qualify for any of these
Okay,
benefits.
perfect. We are, again, every Tuesday at 1:30, we have a briefing that's an umbrella brief regarding benefits, what you may be eligible for based off your DD-214 or what your service to the country. Phone number is 610-378-5601, and we are located at 726 Cherry Street in the BARDA bus station. We are the second storefront. Parking is available in the garage down below or right out front of the building.
Great. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Edwin. What a
Thank
great
you.
piece of information for everybody. And before I sign off, I just want to remind people that we still have the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program going on for those eligible between June 1st and November 30th. We can provide you with an application and provide you with the qualifiers, the eligibility regulations for that particular program. Brief note, September 19th, the Berks County Falls Coalition is having their annual Falls Prevention Awareness event. This year it will be at Alvernia University Flynnplex, again Thursday, September 19th. It is free to older adults, seniors 60 and older. Please come. You'll get a lot of information, resources, and a lot of screenings, some definite things that all relate to falls and prevention of falls with hearing and vision and grip and strength and balance and so on, all those things to help us to, I always say, stay upright and not fall over and not detriment to our health. And last but not least, we have a program that our agency is promoting. Give us a call for more information. We are working with a company, an organization called Get Set Up. And it is, we're welcoming those 60 and older. You'll get a QR code from us that you can access it, and you will provide some online courses in real time or taped that are all kinds of things: photography, technology, exercise, cooking, travel, and so on. So please call our agency for more details on that program. And with that, our show is finished. So thank you for tuning in to Aging Matters.